Do you have an opposite season to what we have here? Of course, I'm in Florida. We
We're
don't really have.
going into spring.
Oh, okay. I think we are. You're in spring, so we're in fall. Okay, we are live. Yay! So a hot spring in Australia.
Mm.
And I'm in Florida, so we're just getting into a really beautiful winter weather. Fall, winter weather here is absolutely gorgeous, where it's not so hot anymore and the weather's turning right now. And so I can have the house open up and it's really nice. I love this time of year.
Beautiful.
Yeah, yeah. And now I just need to find us on the page. And so hold on one sec. Is absolute house. There we are. Okay, now for anybody that's tuning in, they can see them. You can ask questions and interact. So I love that. All right, I am on live with Lou Reed. I'm so happy and so grateful to have you here. Thanks for coming, Lou.
It's such a great topic. Thank you for putting the online summit together and getting all these global leaders to speak on a really important topic, particularly at this time in the planet.
Yeah, the feedback has been really powerful. For me, one of my main, just the things that I want people to get out of this summit, kind of my mission, I guess, is to feel that you're a part of a community for those people like me and probably like you growing up that we didn't feel like we had community and tribe. At least I didn't. And so I felt so strange. I felt like different. And now there's so many of us and we get to interact and play and share our work. So for that, to me, has been, that's always one of my favorite things about it, just to get to share all of these amazing people, all of this amazing information, and at this pivotal time. So tell me, it's been what, about a month, maybe not quite a month, since we filmed. What's been going on for you since then?
Oh, wow. Great question. A lot of change, particularly over the Lionsgate. There was a really big download and it took a while to embody it to a place where I could language it. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but quite often things come through and you can feel it and you have a knowing, but you can't really have conversation. And for me, I find conversation is the way to embody, to say it out loud, to have someone witness really allows me to embody. And of course, embodiment is the part of being. When we embody, we can then go out into the world and be that new frequency. So it took a little while. There was a lot of rest needed. And it was interesting, even my team were feeling it. There was so much coming through that we just needed to slow down and create space. And that seems to be the message, is that it's more about we're moving into a decade of being and not doing. I think last decade for me was balancing the being and the doing, but now it's really being, because when we hold that frequency or our multidimensional frequency, that's when we can be of service to the planet just by moving through the day, by walking on planet Earth, by having our thoughts, words, and actions coming from that center of love. And so it's been really about opening space and not slowing down, because it's interesting, as I create space and say no to things, then everything seems to move a lot faster.
Wow, yeah. First of all, I want to shout out to Vanya. Hi, and thank you for joining us. She says, keep doing what you're doing. And it's all amazing. So thank you. And I want to say, I had to write down when you said conversation is the way to embody. Yes, I think there's so much richness in that, because I know for me personally, when I avoided talking about the things that I thought I would be judged for, that I thought people wouldn't understand, that I thought would have me be, too crazy, still to this day, when I avoid being truthful and authentic and clearly expressing those things in conversation, that's when I shut down. But when I'm able to talk about them and share them and have authentic conversation, I get to receive more, someone else gets to receive from it, and we just open up the whole world of possibility. And so thank you for saying it that way.
Yeah,
Conversation is the way
I
to.
feel it's really important as you've done created a tribe, because um, I find that the second piece to that for me is having people in our life that we can be our unedited true self and loved unconditionally. The other day I had an experience where a friend was sharing something deep and meaningful, and I skipped the subject and changed the subject, and I didn't even realize I did it. And my friend kind of went, ouch. I was just sharing something really vulnerable. And I said, really? And then I had to unpack. But if she had not have called me on it, because she loved me enough to risk the relationship, I guess a lot of people feel that, they're loved conditionally. So therefore they only share the pieces that they think are okay. But because she was able to share honestly from love, I heard it through love. So I wasn't in the defense. And then we unpacked it, and both of us had a really big up-leveling from that. So I really feel that unedited true self helps everybody that's connected to the conversation.
Yeah. Yeah. And that willingness to get below the surface and be your true self,
Mm.
and let other people share in that. That's beautiful. And the being, I need to do more being. I maybe I get to going forward, but at the last day of a 30 speaker summit, I've been doing a lot of doing lately, I will admit. And what I noticed, Lou, is I've been having a really hard time sinking in my morning meditations. Normally, it's just so easy and so in flow, but I think I've been the to-do list, has been so big. I'm like really ready for it just to take some downtime and decompress. And I think that's a good thing for everyone to hear. Take the downtime you need and absorb the information and let yourself just be in this time.
Yeah, it's really interesting. When I started being, I had to do it was a practice. It did not come normal and natural. It was not organic. I really had to consciously choose to be present and choose being. But what I love about the being is it's a teacher. So when I started moving from doing to being, a whole heap of wounded stories came up. And quite often people believe the story and start going back in the hamster wheel. But when we can just pause and witness the story of, no, I have to get that done, and then unpack it. Oh, that's interesting. Why do I feel like I need to get that done? What is that about? And you don't even need to keep following it to resolution. Simply by putting it in your energy system, your subconscious will roll it around and start pushing up the next piece. So I invite people that are moving into being not to discard that treasure that's coming up when they feel that uncomfortability. Unpack it, grab a journal, sit with it, have tea with it, talk to it, and really start to build a loving, unconditional love relationship with it.
Mm. Yeah, that's such a good point. And also, for people like me, and I would bet you, and a lot of us, I have a core value of productivity. So at the end of the day, I want to feel, actually throughout the whole day, I want to feel like I produced something, like I create, like I was productive in my day. And we're a culture of productivity as a core value. I was raised in the Midwest of the US, and that's really a strong core value there as well. But what I found is that when I do take a break, I have the luxury of working at home. So when I'm working too much, I can go take a dip in my pool or even go to the beach and watch the sunrise or the sunset. And when I come back refreshed, I can get so much more done in such a less amount of time. When I'm taking breaks, when I'm feeling grounded, when I'm feeling like, okay, there is enough time for me in the day. So yeah, I think that balance is so very important.
It is, and I feel for me, when I moved into being, I started to change my definition of productivity. And what I mean by that is I started to look at, instead of time exchanged, I looked at energy exchanged. Where am I spending my energy that is giving me the most energy back? So like you were just saying, you would go out and have a swim. Well, that means that you're getting a withdrawal and a deposit in your energy bank that is either equal or more, rather than it might be, well, I'm going to go and people please because it's a wounded story, and I give my energy to something and I end up with less energy than what I started. So I found that when I shifted from time productivity to energy productivity, that was really helpful for me.
Mm. Yeah, and this is, I would guess this is part of your energy training. You have the energy coherence training about how to run your energy, and that it's so good to know those things and witness those things. And do you find that there are like different groupings or types of energy people? That's a way to say it. Or does energy kind of run the same way for most people?
It's meant to. It's meant to be a figure eight energy that flows. However, I find that when we have a wounded story, and what I mean by that is if we have an experience that's less than optimal and we lock in a less than optimal emotion in our energy system, that impacts our energy system, and it affects the words, thoughts, and images that we create, because we start to create from the wounded emotion rather than our radiant self or our multidimensional self. And so really there's two types of energy people, I find. There's in time and out of time. They're really the only, everyone goes through the same, because we have the same physiology. We have incoherence and coherence. But I find that when we go deeper than that, there's people that work in time, and that might show up as showing up early for an appointment, or being mindful of your time so that you get to where you need to go. So you might leave a half an hour early because you have a 9 o'clock appointment and you're not sure if you're going to have time to park and all those sort of things. The in-time people. Then there's out-of-time people like me that I didn't realize, but last night we had a blackout. So just as I went to click on the link, nothing worked. I'm out of time. So I kind of flow with the universe, and I'm in universal time, not necessarily clock time. And, I went to click on it and it didn't work. And so there was a whole bugger, whereas an in-time person will show up 45 minutes early so that they're absolutely not late on that moment. They're really the only two energy people that I find come. And you can see that in the way they show up.
Interesting. I would say, and I'm an in time person in that classification, because and what's interesting for me, I feel like I've kind of mastered time in that I don't wear a watch. I don't really look at the time that much, but I have an internal like knowing of when I need, and I always leave early. I always got where I need to go on time, and maybe it's a program, but my mother was notoriously late. And so it's more of a program as not my mother rather than, just maybe who I am naturally. But I like it. It's a nice program to have.
Yeah,
I get places when I need to be there. Yeah.
And I find that when I started doing more being, I dropped into out of time. I dropped out of third dimensional time, and I'm in energy time. And so what that means is quite often, if I'm driving and I'm not in time, then that means that had I been in time, I could have been in the car accident that happened just in front of my car. So I learned to just trust the universe, that it'll all unfold perfectly, and I can just let go of the control piece and know that I show up when I'm meant to show up.
Yeah. Yeah. Good. Is there anything else that's going on that you want to share with us right now, or that your guidance is like, really wanting you to get out there?
I really feel this is the time. Like, one of the things I love about the work that you're doing with this summit is you've gathered incredible healers together in one place. And now all your beloveds that watch this can connect in with, yes, that's a, you know, I feel aligned with that person's energy fits for me, or even from the free gifts. You know, if people are listening and you haven't downloaded those free gifts, with the replay, I invite you to go back. And even if you haven't watched the speak, then just lean in and sit with it and feel if it's right for you, because this is an amazing opportunity for everyone listening. For you to go out and find these incredible speakers or healers, you may have to go through a lot of Google search. You may have to find people that don't work for you to find people that do work for you. But you've got this buffet of incredible energy healers, and you can now just listen, experience their free gifts. It's time for us to step in and step up. The world needs our medicine right now. So find someone, whoever that someone is, connect with them, do their free gift, and be open to an adventure of where it leads you. Because unless we can open our mindset, we don't see things. And you know that miracle could happen for you and be just around the corner. So explore the speakers, explore the free gifts, take advantage of this amazing opportunity.
Yes, indeed. I mean, I really do like look far and wide to find the lineup. And I feel like this is my second summit. 30 speakers on the summit was a lot, but what a wonderful variety of, you know, like just all these different beings and their beautiful different expressions of more or less sharing similar things. You know, we all kind of come from this same obviously from the same source, but it's we all have different flavors, and that's what I've loved so much about it. And you did mention the replay, which will begin tomorrow, is the beginning of replay period. So for those of you who don't know yet, tomorrow is October 4th. Well, at least here in the US. Is it already the 4th where you are, Lou?
Yes.
You're a day ahead.
Calling,
You're out of time. What's that?
I'm calling from the future.
Yes, you are. You are. I love that. And so we'll have 3 days of replay. So I'm really excited for everyone to, you know, it's hard to keep up when there are that many days of speakers. So for anybody that you want to go back and review, or you miss somebody, you've got that opportunity to jump in and watch and grab those free gifts. There's so many wonderful gifts being given. And then there's some amazing offers, such as yours, Lou. You have one of the most amazing offers, if not the most amazing offer on the entire summit. So I'd love to, that's a great segue into, tell us about not only your wonderful offer, but your 6-day challenge is your free gift and your offer.
So the 6-day challenge, you have a teaching and an energy experience. So from memory, some of them are shamanic journeyings, and some are tappings, and some are daily practices. So it's a combination to give you a feel of what you'll experience with energy work. The teaching allows you to connect in with the neural pathways, and then the initiation or the energy piece allows you to embody it so that you can be it. So the 6 days is for those that are new to energy work or new to an integrative medicine institute, and you can just try it on and see if it feels right for you. If it feels right for you, then we move into Coherence 101, which is all about learning the basics of your energy anatomy. You know, what is the energy anatomy? How has it impacted your life? And quick techniques to bring it from incoherence into coherence. So what that might look like, if you're incoherent, you may be confused about your life purpose and you're unsure. Coherence is a clear path and knowing the next step. Incoherence in relationships may be not being your unedited true self and grounded in your power. That's right. And then coherence is really moving through the day in flow, just having absolute clarity on that next step. And particularly around money and health, if you have an illness, you're incoherent. Your organs are not working optimally. So wellness and health and vitality is the coherent piece. And money, if money's coming in and it's going out quicker than it's coming in, or it's coming in and you create accidents that then money drain, then that's incoherence. So coherence and bringing you back into alignment is around money flowing organically through your life and arriving when you need it. And so it's really just coming in and learning where you get stuck, where's things in your system, and how to test and correct them. So that if you never choose to do any other energy training for your life, you have all the tools that you need by the end of the training. And we're really committed to make a significant change in the energy of the planet at the moment. So we want to create an integrative medicine ripple through the world. When you heal, you affect those that you love. When you affect those that you love, then they impact people they love. And this beautiful wave of love and light moves through the planet. And so normally it's 1,997, and we're offering it for one payment of 197. Only for the replay. Once the summit's over, then the offer will be closed.
Yeah, it's such an amazing deal. And that's only for a few more days. So everybody make sure that you jump in. And Lou, I put you at the end because I knew your talk was phenomenal, and I don't want anybody to miss it. So I'm gonna have to like make sure I blast it out so everyone can get an opportunity, because I don't want people to wait too long and then be like, oh shoot, I missed it. But yeah, such an amazing, generous gift. Thank you for all of that.
Well, I found at the beginning of my healing journey, because I was unwell, which is where all this came out of, that when you're unwell and life happens, you don't have money. And so with energy healing, you don't need money. You come in, you do the training, and you, for 90% of the work, you can heal yourself in any area of your life. So it was really something I wanted to share that with people, because there's a lot of people who are unwell that suffer from depression and anxiety and chronic illnesses, and they really can be changed. They can be shifted and healed.
Yeah, and you make it sound relatively simple, or like it's not such a difficult thing to do. Can anybody do it?
Yes. It's
Wow.
for beginners. And it's also for advanced, because I downloaded this. It's a healing modality that I created, and I've had internationally accredited. So it's very different to anything that's out there in the world at the moment. And 3 years ago, my guide said this is going to be needed. And of course, I didn't understand COVID and the changes in the planet, and now it is needed. And so it was important. I gifted the training to a not-for-profit that I founded. And so it's important to us. We're offering scholarships for this training to support people to change their energy, because we all have medicine, and this is how I unlocked mine, and I'd love to show you how you can unlock yours.
That is so beautiful. Yes. I just love your way of being, and I could feel your flow, and you just are very multidimensional in so many ways. Whenever I talk to you, it's always so interesting, and I always appreciate what you bring and your presence and your generosity. So I thank you for all of that. And I encourage everyone to be sure and watch Lou's interview, because I was listening to it earlier, and usually I have a fairly easy time summarizing an interview. Like, we went so many places and you talked about so many things. There's no like nice little way to summarize it in a sentence or something. I just couldn't quite,
No,
I don't even
it's
know.
and when people come into the training, because it is multidimensional, and I train on multi-dimensions, people go, there's so much in there, I have to re-listen to it. And I said, don't re-listen to it. Just trust that what you have taken into your system is all you need for now. And know that that information, when you're ready to wake up and remember, it's already in there, because I created the work intentionally. So I speak to all 12 light bodies in every training. And that's why I've had people who have done Ayurvedic medicine, intrapersonal complementary therapy, art therapy, psychologists, psychiatrists, they all come and they say, I've had 20 years of healing in 6 months. I heal people, and the healing that I've received from this training, women come and in the first module, they email and say, I have had insomnia all my life, and for the first time I've slept all night. It's now a week later and I've had a good night's sleep every night. And it's just incredible. And I can't take credit for it because it was channeled, which is one of the reasons why I'm really open about sharing it. You know, it was given to me as a gift, and therefore, yes, I need to keep the lights on and pay. But over and above that, I don't need to make a lot of profit. I want more people out there living it and being it.
Yeah. Such a heart of generosity and service. Thank you for that. And even though, yes, you channeled it, we needed you to be able to get that information through. So you can take some credit.
Yes.
It's okay. All right. Well, if unless you have anything else, we can kind of close it up. I like to stick to around a half an hour, but anything else pressing that you want to share before we end?
Love and gratitude to you for all your service that you do and the incredible work you're sharing in the world, and blessings to everyone that's listening. You know, may you find that one thing that's yours that will unlock your medicine.
Indeed. Thank you so much, Lou. I really appreciate you. Thank you to everyone watching. Be sure to
Big
get
love.
gifts. Yes. And have a wonderful day or evening, everybody. Namaste.